However, I kind of feel like Antic still might have the edge. Spark and Kuda, Min and Chung. I think the storyline going into this one has to be the consistency of these two teams. Can the two Red Devils get those incredibly fast times at a consistent level? I feel like they're going to have to, because Antic, they are a little bit more on form. Spark in particular looks to be on it.
Yep, I mean, the last time these two teams went, it went into a best of 5 on the final map as well. Of course, at the time, it was Luminance that Antic was able to take, but we've seen what Min has been able to do this time. I don't. Both of these teams look even more what they've been able to do in the group stages. So this could be an absolute all-out brawl. I still have my contentions with Min, because on paper he had the pace wise he has the best pace out of all of these 4 players, but it has been riddled with somewhat of an inconsistent pace that has seen a lot of these unforced errors. I guess he holds himself to a very good standard as well. He wants to push every corner, of course, but it has lent itself to giving away rounds that it should have been. Chung, of course, on the other hand, has been able to come through when it's needed, but
Yep.
they need to up it if they want to take down Spark and Guda, who at least looked absolutely phenomenal. And Guda, with his highs and lows, still was
Yep.
almost able to get a world record in rounds as well.
Whew.
What an insane round on 3-piece by him as well. So absolutely wonders. And this is going to be an absolute brawl and a half,
Yeah.
which could have similar ways that it went with Trident Esports. But it is two Red Devils, technically, that are less favored. I
Yep.
can agree with you that, but my heart is with the two Red Devils. My head is with Antic.
I mean, again, to me, it kind of comes down to Kuda, right? Because the big difference from Kuda that we saw yesterday and the Kuda that we saw in the series before was the consistency. Particularly, on some of those later maps, Kuda was really, really struggling. And if that carries over to the start of this series, if two Red Devils come out and take the first 2 tracks, I think they do actually win this one out. Antic has to make sure they can hold their own and get that right mentality back. Because Min is going to win some rounds. Like, that's just an inevitability. Min is going to take some round or 2, right? But you need to make sure at least you're drawing in those situations. At least you're able to be keeping up and not making your own mistakes. The key to beating the two Red Devils is consistency, and that's something Antic needs to find again.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can do that. Of course, the thing now is that I have to think about as well. They came from such an exhilarating match against Trident Esports. Can they now sort of, bring them back into ground earth again? They still have a new opponent, new challengers here as well. Can they keep that high going? Or, hopefully they don't get a bit too ahead of themselves as well. That was a thriller of a match as well that they went up against Trident Esports. Hopefully they didn't use up all of that, a banger of a match potential that they had against as well. We can only provide so much of a break, but it is something that if you go into the upper bracket, you have to go through the gauntlet as well. So
Yep.
if you end up losing, you have to immediately play the lower bracket final. So that is something we have to keep in mind as Kuda puts in a sequence of numbers. What do the numbers mean, Max? What do they mean in in-game chat? What does 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 7, 5, 6, 6, 4, 7, 8, 9, 6, 5, 9, 0, 1, 8, 3, 7, 5, 6, 0, 1, 9, 6, 7, 8, 0, 1, 2, 9, 4, 7, 5 mean?
It means I need to figure out how he got my credit card number. This
Well,
is
he only
concerning.
has the credit card number, but maybe that
Yeah.
includes the last 3
No,
digits as
those are still
well.
safe. Those are still safe. No one's going to figure out those numbers. Anyways, here we go. Picks and bans. Let's get into it. Agartha going to be the first pick. Shock and awe. That said, the two Red Devils did look better on that track than
Min
maybe we
actually cooked,
thought.
you know.
Yeah.
Min
So
actually had 2 rounds that he was able to do actually faster times than Kuda and Spark ever did against Trident Esports. So, eh,
yeah,
eh,
we'll
possibilities.
see. We'll see. I mean, it finished 10-8, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not going to call it that big gimme that it was before. And then Shia's taken as well. Antic is choosing violence with these picks.
I mean, it is something that they need to do. They have to get something to start off. If you let the two Red Devils start getting or running away with it, imagine you have to then start to clutching it up against Min. It's probably one of the top 3 worst nightmares an Asian Oceania player has.
Yep.
whenever they go to bed. It's like, I have to clutch against Min. Oh my god, that's gonna be a headache and a half. Whether it will actually come into fruition is another story. Now the question is, yes, I was thinking that Candy Crush will be left last. There's no way Luminance will be left as last. They want to at least get Min on that as up. And with Candy Crush having was a bit of a headache for Kuda and Spark against Trident Esports. If we get to that, that's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me, though, again, it's going to come down to making sure the two Red Devils can take care of business on their two best match, which is Waiting and Simplicity. They're going to be tracks 2 and 4. If either of those go to Antic, I feel like Antic will run away with the series. Those are going to be the critical ones, under the assumption that things go as is predicted, which of course would include this first track going Antic's way as well. Match will be starting very, very soon. The GLHFs have been sent, so gearing up for a lower bracket final, a chance for a rematch against Titan, or Trident, I should say, not Titan. It's not even held by a Titan. It's held by the son of a Titan. Either way, the point is, you win this match, you get your rematch. Who's going to get there? Who is going to have a chance at redemption? We're about to find out.
Yeah, and we start off on the track that everybody loves. But at least I have a special place in my heart as well. Maybe not so much Min and Chung, but at least, Antic Esports get to start off here as well. But they cannot let it go finding away. Hopefully, Kuda has a better time here than he did against Trident Esports. Kuda was absolutely nowhere on this track when he was playing against Trident Esports. So hopefully that gets rectified here, and he doesn't have to have a Agartha Electric Boogaloo number 2 here. So the sequel that he did not want to have. So we'll have to wait and see. But for the time being, at least, hopefully Spark and Kuda can now get off to a good start. Agartha is definitely a track that everybody can abuse against two Red Devils. But we'll see if that comes into fruition in this match.
Yeah, we will see. Again, Steak and Cheese, it was very, very tight. That one finished 10-8, so wasn't a gimme. No track should be at this level. We'll see what kind of form Min is in. Again, for me, if the two Red Devils are going to have any chance to kind of make the upset happen, they've got to nail the ice slide. That was kind of their Achilles heel in the series prior. It could be their Achilles heel again. Antic, you kind of trust to be able to hit it, although it is Kuda who drops back a little bit early. Here we go. If the two Red Devils can get through this one clean, well, one of them, Dan. Not so much for Chung, however.
Yeah, but Kuda hits the wall on the ice exit. Kuda is really not having this track.
Spark's
also
out.
Hits the wall, and Chung is overtaking both. What is happening to Antic on this track? They cannot. Agartha seems to be just everybody's downfall today, and Antic's far so much. Chung misses a slide as well, but he's still able to keep on going. Spark is slightly catching up to him as well, but he doesn't have the speed. So after all of that, your average APAC round ends up being a draw, and Min gets a sub 102. Okay, I thought for a moment that Kuda disappeared as well, but he just finished. That's perfectly fine. So it is a draw, and Agartha just delivers.
Both teams are going to be frustrated with that first round, right? Yeah. Like, both of them had opportunities to absolutely kind of take that one away. More so for the two Red Devils. They had the ace. It was there. A bit unfortunate, though, that it will not come into play for the Korean side. We will see, though. Second track, and again, Min is actually deceptively fast on this track. It's why I always go down to this ice turn. When Min nails this ice turn, they are actually very tough to beat, and they've been getting more and more consistent with it as the event's been continuing on. Going to be up for Kuda to try to chase it down. Even Chung, though, gets through the ice relatively clean, so we are going to have a battle to the finish. Now, the wall ride, that exit speed, always very, very critical, and Kuda loses out to Min. Chung beats out Spark as well. The two Red Devils might have the momentum, however, Chung kind of goes a bit too hard on the turn, so it's going to be an ace best for the Red Devil side. Min should be able to hold on. They get through that last turn clean, and we are going to see a 2-2 game.
Yeah, and this just shows Min actually is semi-cooking Agartha somehow now. Man has arrived and somehow, through thick and thin, has learned to play this track in rounds. You know, people have to pick it, people have to play it, and Min has practiced more this track in live rounds than he's ever done offline. So, so that is a statement and a half, and that is absolutely insane to think. And Min is genuinely driving fast, and Jung is the one that is sort of struggling a bit. But if Spark and Kuda cannot overtake Min, well, Min now has an ice moment, and there's the moment that we've been waiting for. But now Spark and Kuda can actually get an ace, and Min cannot even get the dirt section quite right. So everything, I guess, returns to normality.
Yeah, again, for this track, for the two Red Devils, it's all about that ice turn. And, oh, Chung really bottles the wall ride. But Spark bottles the turn up front as well. So Ace no longer on the cards. If Chung can chase Spark down, the two of them are going to have a bit of a drag race at the end. Spark bonks again.
Min is also coming back to Spark.
Oh,
he's right there as well, and Min has more speed. And pulls a Baywhack in the end as well. What a clean way that back wheel finish gets the draw for a trot to two Red Devils. And Ace completely thrown in the bin, and Min takes a leaf out of Baywhack's book. But he does it well this time. He actually overtakes Spark in the end.
3 draws in a row. This is not the start that I think Antic was looking for. That said, Min can't even make it around the first turn before running into disaster. So if the draw streaks to continue, the pressure is on Chung to make it happen. Chung, who I don't think... Chung is rocking the 100% crash rate right now. I'm not liking their chances to win this round unless Antic has another shocker. The ice dismount, not as clean as it could be. Kuda and Spark should, in theory, run away with this one.
Yeah, it's eerily very similar to what happened before, but, you know, they should. It's a second opportunity anyways. They cannot for the life of them do 2 aces in a row. It's just unimaginable, you know. You have to really try to lose a second ace, but I feel like this time Spark and Kuda will rectify themselves and get the ace out of there. Unless there's some shenanigans in the end, but I don't think you really need to go for full risk. And yeah, those lines are not the fullest risk of all. They finally get the ace. Of all things, it has been a draw. It's been very nice indeed. But once Min is out, I think, yeah, you are very much right. Jung really doesn't have much to take. He can only sort of take the scraps if Spark and Kuda have a bit of a lapse in judgment. But the problem is that if Min gets past the ice, then it's game on.
The thing right now that I need to see is Chung has to, you know, be within a second and a half of the leader. That 100% crash rate, I'm sorry, but you ain't winning a track if one of your team members is 100% crashing. So my eyes are a bit on Chung as well. Either way, into the ice turn. Can Min nail the dismount? They've got a nice lead. Chung can't. They bounce off the pole, but Min so far out in front. This is a screamer of a time so far from Min. If they keep this together, we could be seeing a new PB.
Yeah, it's looking very good indeed for Min, and this is the part where Kuda and Spark just cannot catch this man. This track after the ice is pure technical, and if there's one man that can do it clean as ever, it is Min. You can see the lines crisp, the turns clean, the drifts immaculate, and that man is falling off the edge, giving Kuda and Spark the ace that they've been looking for. What the most amazing setup I've ever done for a man to get a PB, and he falters at the finish line.
Look, again, the drift may have been immaculate, but the launch out of the turn wasn't. The landing was.
The landing was. The landing didn't stuck. Yes.
No, that was a little bit less so. So an ace for Antic sets up the two Red Devils now in a position where they're going to need some aces themselves. But again, I don't mean to keep bringing it up, but I'm going to until it changes. 100% crash rate on Chung. An ace does not make. So pressure on for the two Red Devils, but at the same time, I mean, you'd have to assume they've kind of written this track off, so I'm not expecting too much here from them in the end. Although Chung has gotten themselves a little bit further forward, they actually come out of the ice pretty clean as well. It is Min who has the struggles, and that realistically should do it. We will be seeing Antic up by 1.
Yeah, that is indeed the case for now. It is hard to challenge against. Of course, we gotta keep in mind this is a Gartha still, and you know, man, Chung is trying his best, but this is not a track he feels comfortable with. He's actually doing quite well this round, all things considered, but it's not up to par with Chung. Not up to par with Spark at the moment, but he might overtake Kuda. Well, he tried, but so the 100% crash rate continues. But you know, Antic take the track. We had our fun. But for the time being, at least, this is at least at least for now, it is the final time that the two Red Devils see the track. If they get through and win against Antic, they might have to do it one more time. But for
Yeah, they
now,
might have to do it
everything
first.
stays the same. Agartha is still the devil for them.
Yeah, I mean, again, expectation would be if they do get through, Agartha will be the first pick for their opponents in the next round. Trident would obviously take that, heartbeat. But we do move on to waiting, and this will be a fun match again. I'd have to assume Antic had some problems, in particular Kuda had some problems with the start of this track in our upper bracket finals. So my eyes are going to be on Kuda, whether or not they're going to be able to clean up their act a little bit. The two Red Devils, Min in particular, so strong on this one. Again, when they get through to that second half, they just kind of zoom away from everybody. We'll be curious if that's going to be the case again.
Yeah, we'll have to see if anything changes this time around. Of course, Min and Chung now should be taking this track. This is their first pick as well, and they are now in a position where, of course, we might see a very similar case that what Kriidy Esports and Antic had to do. Basically, you start winning your own track picks, and you go from there. But for the time being, Chung gives us a good camera perspective of everybody in front. Doesn't have the most comfortable drift there, so it is Min who is up in front. Of course, Spark and Gouda, if it wasn't Baywhack and Jacewack before, now they have to also defeat the world record holder on this track. You know, that you go from the pure downfall into an absolute waterfall at the same time, basically, for Antic on this track. You know, and it's very hard to beat Min on this. Spark is trying, but you can see the pace difference is very much noticeable, and Min is taking no prisoners.
Again, it's just those final 5 checkpoints. Min has something in the car that's just built for it. 4/10 off the world record, and they're still warming up. That said, Chung with the issues a little bit further back means we only get a draw in our first round here. So not the worst start for Antic if they're looking to kind of flip this pick, but I mean, eyes on Min at the start. If they get a fast start, if they keep it clean, which they're doing so now, it just feels like you cannot catch them on the second half of the track.
Yeah, Min again doesn't have the best exit out of that section there, but it's still enough to keep in touching distance from Antic Esports, and usually it's the second half where Min and Chung turn on the afterwards. You can see just immediately Min goes from last to first almost with one quick turn. But everybody's neck and neck here. There's nothing to really separate. Even Chung is in the mix, and this will come down. Who's willing to do? Min has to completely save that line there. He went really inside there, but still able to keep the drift going. And Min holds on to first position and does not let go of it in the end. Even Spark Kuda tries to push, but not quite enough. And what a great round by everybody involved, but it is still a draw.
I mean, super close round, but also a little bit slower than what we've seen from Min. Again, you kind of called it out earlier, and that had a bit of a uh-oh moment, had to make a couple saves, and even then, still winds up crossing that finish line first. It just shows how hard Antic probably is going to have to push if they're going to be looking to cross that line first, assuming no mistakes comes from the Korean driver. At that same token, though, I'm still waiting for Chung to really get up there and help that teammate out, because these P4s, needs to be at least P3s at minimum, and now Chung's going to get that chance as they've got a bit more speed coming through in that latter pass. That will get them ahead of Kuda, but I don't know, through the second half of the track, nobody's catching Min again.
Yeah, but Chung now taking the attack of full front here. Spark also having a bit of struggles. Min somehow survives that clip there. Goes for an early drift. I've seen that a few times as well. They do the pre-drift with that inside, dip there. They avoid the nose slide and secure themselves a drift, and Min uses it quite well here as well, and it is an ace. So, Chung heard you, pulled up your game and said, yeah, sir, I'm doing my best here.
Yep.
I'm just warming up. We played Agartha just a minute ago. Just give me a break. I'm getting there.
Same time from Min, by the way. Still just absolutely putting out bangers right now, which is what you've come to expect from them. And again, Min out of the gate already a couple car lengths ahead, which is going to be needed because Chung has some issues. Although they have the ace and they could draw their way to the finish line, so much pressure being on Min to continue to perform on this track. And now Antic, they look a lot closer than they do before. Kuda goes a little bit wider than Spark, who goes more on the inside, and that's how Spark gets a bit more speed. They're going to be on the hunt, and for the first time, someone's actually keeping up with Min. for the second half of this track, at least initially. This is where Min pulled away previously. Will they do so again? Spark gets a little bit of air, so Kuda will come back up into P2. But the two of them trading positions, second, third, but no one's getting close to first yet. Min, big slide, tight exit, going to be a lunge on the line for Kuda. They're not going to get there, though, and again, Min goes sub 56.
Min has not let go of that first position. He holds it dear to his heart. He's just unstoppable on this track at the moment. And Chung just, he gets to enjoy a bit of the show. He hits the corner on the inside there and hits the checkpoint there as well. So Chung is not having the great time here. But the good news is his teammate is having a great time and enjoys all the first position. But it is now Spark who's actually having a significant lead at the start. But we've seen it so many times. It looks like a great lead. And then Min just reels them in 1/10 at a time, one corner at a time. And just again, you can see, oh my god, Min, what are you doing? Well, you need to risk, I guess. That could be, would be nice to get first position. But still, how the hell does this man just go? You can see the drift there. Oh my god, it's so clean. It's so absolutely insane what he's doing. He's crisping Spark in the end and absolutely annihilate. That is 55.9 while being 3/10 down at the start.
Imagine if Min had a clean start. That's a world record. I don't think you can hit the latter half of the track more perfectly than that. That was absolutely insane from Min. It's a shame that they only get rewarded with a draw for that one, but it's why Min is so scary on this track, and it's why no lead is kind of ever going to be enough. It feels like. Here we go, though. Antic back against the wall a little bit. They can't afford to be aced. Chung, if they can keep it clean, will put Antic under so much pressure at the start of this round. Does see Kuda out in front, but again, Min, they got through without making a mistake, and now Kuda is the one who bonks. Look out, Min's in first.
Yeah, this is now getting a bit scary because Min has not faltered whatsoever. He's absolutely just cooking Antic. Honestly, like at this point, you just gotta take your hat off. I mean, fair play to Spark and Kuda. They are trying. But that man up in front is not giving anything to them. This is just insane what he's doing. It's just 55-9s consistent. Now, I mean, most people would love to have a PB under 56. This match drives them like nothing.
I think on track point, bold prediction, Min's going to push here. I think we're going to see Min absolutely send it this round because you got that little bit of cushion. And, it's the pride of the Trackmania player. You want to go for that world record in rounds. They might have a chance to do it here. That said, Kuda staying right up with them towards the front. It's Spark who's falling a little bit further back. Kuda as well runs into some problems, and now it's a clean 1-2 for the two Red Devils side. Min already so far out in front. Nearly a half second as we come into these next checkpoints, and I want to see him push. I want to see if he can get, how close to that WR can we see him?
Yeah, this is the reason why this man is the AOTC's champion. This is why he has not made a single mistake, and man is driving even faster than before. Spark overtake 55-7, and that is as clean as you want. That is probably the best weighting he has probably ever driven throughout this entire tournament, and Spark and Kuda had absolutely no chance against it. Decent round. I would say it's an average round for Min, I guess. It could have been faster, to be honest.
Just a tech abuser, all right? That's
honestly,
all
tech abuse. He was definitely abusing that, and Spark and Kuda could do nothing.
That was some near immaculate driving. Good tech, man. It is so fun to watch. Hats off to Min for that performance. But now I think the series starts proper, right? Because now you get rid of the map that the two Red Devils are always going to win, and you get rid of the map that the two Red Devils are always going to lose. It's proper best of 5 to get to that grand final. And I mean, we want a chaotic map next. Why not go to Shias?
Yeah, but the problem is, if you remember Trident Esports against Antic here, that was still a very hectic match on that one as well. And Min is just absolutely on on cloud 9 at the moment. Man has 69% top ones. Nice.
I mean, he won every single round that last track, right? Like,
yeah, true. But this is the problem. Min is aging like fine wine at the moment. And if he keeps doing this, honestly, Bayrek and J-Swag are going to have a problem here. If two Red Devils get through this match and Min is doing what he's doing, what are you going to do? At some point, you're going to make a mistake, and Min just gets first position, and Xiong is at best third, and that's GG. Xiong, at the moment, he's having a bit of a struggle, falls a bit behind. Min also gets a bit of a clip there, so who knows what this ending will give us.
You asked the question, what do? You slip the tournament admins, a 50 under the table, and you run a Gartha 7 times in a row.
Oh, that also works, I guess.
Yeah. That's how you take him down. By the way, Min's going for the late lunge. Won't be able to hold the speed, so it's going to be
nice PB.
a Antic win. Spark has to get a PB in order to win that one out. And again, that was 4/10 off the world record held by Min, of course. But good start for Antic. A good way to bounce back after what was a bit of a heartbreak of a last round. We'll see if this momentum can continue, though, because I don't know if they're going to get as many opportunities as they did before. Everyone in a tight pack to start off our second run through.
Yeah, it just shows that I think Spark and Kuda have now, if it wasn't clear from the previous map, I think it's now clear that it's BB or bust, basically, for them. They have to absolutely send it, because Min is just on a tear at the moment. It's so hard to beat. Oh, but there he goes. But this is what Min falters a bit about. He wanted to push. I was on his POV. He didn't need to push the way he did, but he went for it anyway, and then costs him the round there. But it is CS. It is a very volatile track for the time being, and at least for now, Min at least is giving a bit of a breather. It was a waiting room for Spark and Kuda to finally get a bit of a break, and now they are getting it on CS. Still very good times by Kuda and Spark. 58-6, 58-6 by both members. So good teamwork, at least, by Antic.
Yeah, they'll be happy with those finishes for sure on that Antic side. For the two Red Devils, an unfortunate ace is going to put more pressure on them to try and step up here. Again, it does worry me, again, with the track as volatile as this one, to see Antic out in front as far as they are, not too shocking. Looking at sort of the first 4 tracks in this pick and bans, you kind of expect it to go 2-2, and then the last 3 to be the real deciders, and we are headed in that direction at the moment. However, I'm just nervous every time Min is up in the front and putting together, lunges like that where they maintain their speed, somehow stay on form, got past the part where they crashed out last time. Beating this team is going to be so difficult right now because Min is on form, but Chung with the bonk and Min with the bonk might give this one away. Kuda, though, too far back to really contest the draw.
Yeah, Kuda had a bit of a fumble early on as well, so at least one thing will happen is the fact that Spark is able to get first position and get a draw for Antic, which is more than fine for them. I mean, it is 5-1, so at this point, the two Red Devils need an ace to get back into it. But Spark and Kuda, at least one of them, gets a good round regardless, and all things are going to be fine for them. So nothing to worry about at the moment. It gets a bit problematic if they give away an ace. But
Yes.
at least for the time being, Chung has not been quite able to uphold that standard of the two Red Devils. I mean, he's trying. And I think he's also realized, I just have to try and push, man. I can't really try it to be safe here, but it's one of those times that Chung is usually the one that is more reserved. He's going for the consistent, but he's really struggling. But with Min going absolutely out of the round as well, he's the one that now has to be the one to get first position for the first time throughout this entire match.
Yeah, pressure on Chung right now to avoid
a
might be able to devastating round loss, and actually probably he's going to get it, because Spark and Kuda have some problems. Min's still too far back to really challenge Spark unless it turns into a complete disaster run, but over a half second ahead, Chung can kind of cruise across now to the end of this track. A draw, not the end of the world for Antic. I mean, they're still going to be within reach of taking this track out if they get themselves the ace, which they've already done so once already, but I don't know. Again, this entire sort of third track can be flipped on its head if the two Red Devils can finally get a consistent run through.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where if Min was had a clean round, they could have gotten the ace that they were looking for. But if anything, it's a nice motivational booster for Chung. He gets his first position as well, so that 0% now has moved up to 5%. You know, absolute stonks for Chung here. You know, 5% increase in the market value. But for the time being, it is now Min who also now has to get into it if they want to have a somewhat of a semblance of a chance here. But Kuda and Spark are not really letting go. Min with a bit of a too low of a landing has lose a bit on the speed, and Kuda is the one that falters on the outside line, allows Min to overtake. But if anything, it could just end up being another draw.
It could be, especially with Kuda kind of slipping further and further back. Chung, though, actually going very wide through that grass section, loses a lot of speed. Kuda gets back out in front. A round win for Antic would put them one away. Min bottles the finish.
Oh!
Chung somehow snipes his way through because Kuda had issues as well. We're going to have a second run at this finish line to see who gets there first. Min should be able to coast across it. Well, there you have it. We got our draw.
Well, it would have been a draw anyway. But Min and Kuda decided we'll make it a bit more convoluted, but we still get a draw out of it. You know, it's like we get a nice highlight of the stream of Min just absolutely having a lapse in judgment of his speed and angle and approach, and Kuda decided, you know what, I'll do the same. Oh, that looks a lot of fun. And Kuda now hits the pillar as well, and not really feeling it quite just yet. But Spark has been very consistent. He was very consistent against Trident Esports on this track as well, and he's at least holding the flag for Antic to keep it all clean and neat and tidy, and it doesn't devolve into absolute madness. And Min also with a bit of a wonky clip there. At least Spark is currently at least a wall that holds strong.
Yeah, I mean, still though, I feel like Antic, they need to make sure they at least draw this round. If the Red Devils win this round, they could get like an ace. We get overtime. Things get very, very messy. So Spark, I think, very much wants to win this one out. However, they're falling a bit behind. If Chung goes for a risky finish here, maybe there could be a very deep snipe. Not very likely. It is just going to be a round win for the two Red Devils. But Antic, they're a draw or better away from taking out our third track point.
Yeah, of course, it would be somewhat expected as well. We have another sin on the board. No nices on the board yet, but a lot of sins. I guess Asian Oceania is truly a bit of a backwards nation in everything and every right. Australia even more so. Australia is not in the tournament anymore, so tough luck with that. Chung also touches the wall on the outside there as well. So it is a bit of a tough time to see an outcome here, where two Red Devils get
it is definitely looking very, very good. Despite Min trying to hold down the lead, Spark and Kuda actually are pushing very, very, very hard. And yeah, they're going to go ahead and retake one too. Antic actually looking for an ace themselves. They should be looking at the time and realizing, hold on, we don't have to risk too much. Will come this finish line. Min will be risking it and will be looking to get as close to finish as possible. Kuda still crosses the P1. Very good time, actually, of 58.6. Well done, Antic. They take the track.
Yeah, as expected, everything is going according to plan. But now we go, we go on to another track where, I mean, this is a track where Min has had mixed opinions and mixed results, but it is a track where Chung has been a lot more consistent. I feel like when it was a match, when they played against, the two Red Devils played against Trident Esports, it was a track where simplicity was the only track that the two Red Devils took against Trident Esports. So now Antic have to do better than Trident Esports, which is a difficult task. And hopefully they just have to hope that Min just doesn't have a Min as a moment, aka just getting first place every single round.
I mean, it's not as scary here as it is in waiting to go up against Min. However, yeah, you've got to just do your best to keep up, do your best to stay as tight with it as. Actually, that was a little bit of an uh-oh moment at the start from, I believe that was Min, who kind of clipped that first curb. Granted, you kind of expect him to catch back up to the pack in 2 turns, so they're already making up round about, 210 or 200s, I'd say, per checkpoint. Yeah. Doesn't matter. He
It's
can clip,
already
he can
there.
bang. As long as it's before the first or second checkpoint, he'll be back up in the mix of it come the end of the round.
Yeah, he just wanted to give everybody, a bit of hope. Oh, Min is 0.2 behind. I think we have it. Oh, he's right back behind us. Oh, okay. No, well, either way, Min is trying to fully send it here. What a immaculate! Oh my God!
Wow.
From last to first, like it's absolutely nothing. Goes for the wider line. We'll have a bit more speed than Kuda here, so the final drift will decide the end. Min usually goes for absolute send there, but actually gets the first position. Kuda clips the hole there. Or the right side of the block there, and it is a victory for, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Min just strikes fear into their opponents on these tracks, and Kuda just absolutely shaking in his boots in the end, and just absolutely just falters in there. Very close round, but just enough for Min to get a victory and get to do Red Devils the points on the board.
Dude, money Min. You put cash on the table, say, hey, the more matches you win, the more cash you get, and Min just shows up. The man is clutch. The man knows when to perform. Antic, they still might be leading the series overall, but every time the tracks get that little bit techy, Min just runs away with it. And now with Kuda, kind of bonked out of this one. There's a chance for a 2 Red Devil ace. Pressure on Spark to try to keep up with the 2 Korean drivers as Chung actually doesn't go as high as they usually do around that bank, so they don't have as much speed. All that speed lies with Spark, who is going for a big risky finish, yet Min on the snipe holds him off, and it's going to be another round win for the 2 Red Devils.
Yeah, Min goes for the speed and goes for the best line in the end, where he can turn inwards, while Spark has to chuck himself a bit wider there and allows Min to get another first position. Great race again, but it's becoming a bit reminiscent of what Spark and Kuda felt on waiting. I'm not gonna lie, they're just gonna have flashbacks at this point. It's like, it's happening again, Max. We cannot get away from this man. He's haunting us. We're doing our best, but it's just not enough. This man is... Someone stop this man.
Min might be one of the most exciting players to watch in the entirety of Trackmania when they are on some of these tracks. It has been an absolute treat, and unfortunately for Antic, well, I mean, they've been watching a lot because they've been parked right behind, although they get the speed coming out of that grass bank. Chung is well and truly out of this one, so Min is just trying to hold on for a draw, and it looks like they might be able to. Kuda's got the better exit, though, of the Antic members. Not enough, though, to snipe it despite getting a PB. They're still over a 10th behind.
Yep, it's basically a carbon copy. You take the sticker off the simplicity map and it's waiting all over again. it's basically the same thing, and it feels like only a matter of time. I mean, Kuda and Spark, hey, props to them. They're getting PBs. They're pushing a Min as well, but it's just a difference and a half. An insignificant PB is basically what everybody gets against Min. It looks nice on the board, but that is as much as it's going to be. It's a nice, it's like your mother puts up your drawing on the refrigerator and says, yeah, you did a great job. Yeah, it's maybe not, the drawing is not the best as much, but yeah, for now, Spark is trying. Min is just, again, gone.
Min's just pulling away.
Yeah,
where does
gone.
that speed come from? My goodness, Min on another absolute tear. I'm actually curious to see if we're going to get sub 56 on this one. Definitely going to be hunting for it. 56.071. We got close. Another round win for the 2 Red Devils. Here's the thing, though, Kriidy. Outside of simplicity and waiting, Min hasn't had the same consistency. So after we leave this track, things do kind of fall back in Antic's favor. So it's not the end of the world losing this one out, but I'm just enjoying watching what could be the last time we see Min in this event on the 2 tracks that they absolutely seem to own.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, Min has an on-off switch. You turn on for one track, off one track, on, off. But currently he's definitely on, and it's on turbo mode. And Kuda and Spark can do absolutely nothing to stop this man. Even that wall that usually claims so many players, even that wall cannot stop this man. He's on a tear. He's just having a wonderful time, and we are here to witness it. Everybody on the server is here to witness it, and Min is having a wondrous time. They are 4-7 up. It will most likely be another draw, and Min. Oh well, I say that it is Kuda again getting clipped on the inside. Chung swoops in to get it. 5-9 on the board, and I think it is gonna be well written here. Only an ace could save them here, and Min has looked anything but giving them any opportunity to even get a victory on this track.
Yeah, we will see if the form does continue. Both Antic members right up there with Min at the start of this one. Chung still just a 10th back, but Kuda goes very, very wide, loses a lot of speed. Min clips, though, and now all of a sudden, race is on. Kuda is in front of Min. Chung just needs to keep it clean, and they should be all right. As it stands, Chung will be battling with Spark for the lead, but it's Kuda who needs to try to catch back up. It's Kuda who's going to have to send it. Chung may have sent it too hard as well. Is going to lose a lot of speed, but Kuda clips again, and that's going to do it. That will be a draw, most likely, and a draw is all the Red Devils need. We're going to be tied 2 tracks apiece going to our 5th round.
Yeah, even when Min makes a mistake, best we can do is insignificant PB and a draw.
PB 56.4. Like, Min was on the average getting 3/10 faster than the PB we saw at the end.
Yep.
Like,
it's insane. Like, it one round where they get an opportunity, and it still is very hard to get something going there. It's just, but yeah. But hey, it's the 2-2 affair. We are moving into 3-piece. And honestly, now there's a problem here, Max, with the maps left over. 3-piece is Antic's map. Most likely going to happen. After that, it's Luminance. And then you have Candy Crush, where Kuda and Spark just could not get anything going against Trident Esports. Well, most likely what we will see now is Antic will take this. And if Min, again, just turns on Luminance, this is going to get very difficult all of a sudden. This is not at all an easy task. I'm expecting, of course, this track to go Antic's way. I don't think Min and Chung have a chance really here, especially with Kuda, who almost drove world record here. So anything is to go by. But Kuda forgets that he has to press the accelerator at the start and already is a bit behind. But it should not be too much of a hassle.
Yeah, actually, Kuda's kind of already caught up to the crowd right there. But Kuda definitely could be a driver to watch. But the thing is, Kuda was close to world record time. Min still holds it. So I don't want to just gift this one to Antic and say it's a guaranteed thing. And if the 2 Red Devils do kind of flip this track and bring it in their favor, I think Antic is in very dire straits. As it stands this first round, it will be a battle between Min and Spark to see who's going to come across in first. Chung having some issues actually will concede the position 3 to Kuda. So that means Spark, if they can get past Min, they'll have the lead. It's all about these last couple turns. Spark loses a lot of speed and has to hit the brakes just to avoid the wall, so Min will coast to a victory. Chung as well with a late lunge, tries to hold off Kuda, is going to go for the riskier finish, and it's an ace for the 2 Red Devils.
Yeah, it is indeed case as well. 2 Red Devils get the ace on 3-piece. Oh, this is going from bad to worse. It's too early, of course. It is round 1. But you did rightly mention, Min does still have the world record here. Kuda was able to beat it, but it shows that Min is a tough nut to crack even on this. And this doesn't have any ice. This is purely technical still. It's simply Gear 3 dirt and Gear 3 all the way through. Of course, that's why it is a 3-piece. It's kind of a hint in the name as well, but it's going to be a tough time. And honestly, even when I'm looking from a Trident Esports, as Min now finally touches the outside wall and has a bit of a kick flip and a half, Tony Hawk would even be a bit proud of that one. But he would regard that Chung needs to fully send it and get a good end here, but can he actually do it is another story.
I think he can. We saw it last round. Why not do it again? It's going to go a bit wider than Spark, which means a bit more speed. If they risk the finish, they do steal second away. So it's not an ace, but it's also, you know, not the worst scenario in the world either for the 2 Red Devils. Antic finally get on the board. Kuda, very fast time, starting to warm up on this track. I'm still hoping it comes down and we see a good round finish between Kuda and Min dueling to the line. The potential is there between these two.
Yeah, they definitely have the pace to fully send this end, and for the time being at least, no sacrificial lambs have been given to the beginning of the track. Everybody gets through this. That corner has claimed a few people. It's a very deceptively wobbly there, and also this landing here. Kuda does not actually falter too much. It isn't that much of a wobble that loses you too much speed, and is able to still keep up with Min. And maybe you are getting what you asked for. You wanted Min and Kuda to fight in the front. You're getting exactly that.
Oh, they're like about as even as you could be right there. 11 thousandths of a second separate the pair going into the tricky final section. Min, though, starts to pull ahead. It's a tight landing on the dirt. Kuda might have a better entryway into this. They don't go for the inside line, though. They kind of eased up, so Min will win the round. Enough for the draw. Spark was able to stay in front of Chung, so interesting decision from Kuda right there. Didn't risk. Still got the draw. Antic still within 2.
Yeah, the nose slide makes the difference. Interestingly enough, Min doesn't go for the nose slide. Kuda is trying, but Min opts, just to go an optimal tapping method there, just to get across the line, and it's working wonders at the moment. He doesn't really, he feels like he's very much confident enough to hold out at the moment, or maybe he just didn't have the lineup he usually wants to have. But Kuda now hits the pole, and this is what we saw a fair few times. When Kuda has the very highs, he can have the very lows as well. And now Spark is the one that has to get first position, or they might give the 2 Red Devils a victory, or at worst an ace on the board.
Yeah, I mean, even a victory puts Antic in a really tough spot right now, but Min has been so consistent through these last couple turns. Spark is going to have to absolutely send. The 2 seem to be on the exact same line, and that's not going to cut it. Spark goes a little bit more on the inside, catches a bit more at the curb, and that's not how you make the overtake. 56.8 from Min. Woo, baby, we are getting fast here, but TRD, they're now an ace away.
Yeah, they are an ace away from getting the track point, and this is Antic pick, and everything is going much more complicated than I think Antic ever envisioned. This should have been a track where Antic should have gotten a bit more of a comfortable, at least of a lead, or at least closer to that winning track point than they are right now. But Min is absolutely finding. Chung finds the pole there, so he's completely out of it. So it is all on Min now. If he falters, he might give away an ace that would bring Antic back into the mix, but they need to hope that Min falters, which actually hasn't happened as much as you would want.
Kuda's fast. Kuda is very fast right now. Keep our eyes on that one. And I mean, Spark can still snipe Min without the falter. Again, if you get that nose slide, that could be enough. Min, though, so tight through those turns, is actually gaining on Kuda, has the speed. It comes out to the last turn. Min looking for the ace and is going to steal it away. Not the ace, sorry, the draw. Either way, it's the round with Chunk snipe Kuda, who had to respawn. A disaster for Antic at the line. 9-5. Red Devils a draw away.
I think what happened there is that Kuda is a keyboard player, but I think he pressed the wrong action key. I did not get to see his input at the time there, but I think we just saw the first case of somebody action keying at the wrong button. I think that is exactly what happened, because he had the perfect lineup, but he didn't steer at all, so I think he just fat fingered the wrong action key and couldn't get the slide going. So it is unfortunate, but it is now 1 point away. But Min gets the checkpoint wrong, and look who's in front. It's all blue, and it's all Antic with Chung in the back end.
Yeah, but if Chung can snipe just one of these 2 Antic members, it will be the round 1. The thing is, though, they're pretty far back. Antic can still bottle the finish. They've got to keep it clean. They don't need to risk. They've got enough of a gap. Chung, however, absolutely, and will try. A little wobbly from Spark, but not enough to lose momentum. An ace for Antic is an 8-9 game. Oh, the Red Devils, they'll get a second chance, but now they just cannot afford to lose this round. If Min can get back out in front, it still could be theirs.
It is now a draw that would conclude for the 2 Red Devils, a victory and an ace, but Antic need to win this. There's nothing else that they can take. A draw will not work for them. they will not have enough points. So it is all eyes on Antic. If one of them falters, that is pretty much GG for them. But that previous round is a good motivational situation for everybody involved. Min goes for a very low jump. That is as clean as you ever gonna get it. But this is still a very tough race for everybody involved. Their positions are still possible, but draw is still at the moment where they lie, and that is not enough for Antic.
I mean, if Min can continue this momentum, it is theirs. However, Kuda has been slowly gaining. Kuda's been getting closer and closer. We're within 1/10 of a second through these last points. Spark tries to send it, barely gets the grip required, but Min's actually pulling further ahead. Here comes Kuda on the inside, has the speed, but wobbles at the end. Min crosses first, and that will do it. A draw gives the two Red Devils the track. They are one away from going to the grand final.
And we move on to Luminance. The two Red Devils are doing exactly what they finally needed. They got the map pick by Antic. And holy moly indeed, Svet. Holy moly indeed. We move on to Luminance as well. And this is a track where Spark and Kuda were good. But now they have to hope that Min is forgot to turn on the switch. Literally, they have to pray and hope that Min it does not white arrive here. That they have to just pray to whatever Jesus lives in either Indonesia or India. One of the gods has to come in through at the moment, or Hillis has to help them out.
I mean, and if you think we're over exaggerating Min's performance right now, 60% top ones.
Yeah,
coming into this track,
insane.
like, has been performing. The next closest is Kuda, I believe. It would be Spark at 21%. Chung still only has that one round win to their name. Like, still only sitting at one. They're at that 3%. The point is, this has been Min just dragging this duo, kicking and screaming into these positions, and now pressure is on. What can Antic bring on Luminous? Can they get it back? I like Spark on this track. I actually think Spark can throw down here. I'm not counting the Red Devils out, but it's Chung, actually, who was out with a screamer of a start.
Oh my god. But Min just fully sends it. I would not have the balls to go for that line that he just went for. But the problem now is that there's two maps that Chung is actually good on. It was Simplicity, and it is this track. And look at that, Kuda and Spark. Spark has fallen a second behind. Kuda is seeing all red in his eyes, and those Devils see only red at the moment. They're going for the ace. Kuda is trying to push. He will be sent a bit wider, but he will have more exit speed. But the two Red Devils will not falter. They will get the ace, and I feel like now Antic have suddenly gotten to the realization that with that loss on 3-piece, this is getting a very dire, and if anything, my prediction is getting right with two Red Devils winning. So hey, at least I'm the one who is right here. So you know, all is going well, and everybody who when I said that Antic won't be getting into the grand final, well, probably everybody's now gonna hate me.
We'll see how it plays out. Look, there's still a lot of rounds to go. However, when Min is dropping 4/10 off the world record on the first round, yeah, you get nervous. Still, Chung with some early difficulties on this one has already fallen about 3/10 back behind the pack, maybe even a little bit more realistically if you compare themselves to Min, but Spark back towards the front. And again, Spark is the driver who I'm looking at from Antic to maybe help carry them back into this one. Kuda right with Min as well, yet Min continues to keep that nose in front. Spark, though, has the speed coming into those last couple checkpoints. Kuda starts to fall back. Chung actually might be looking for a lunge for third. Min, meanwhile, has pulled a car lengths ahead of Spark, looking to line themselves. They bottle near the end. Kuda's going to get the snipe, and it's an ace for Antic to equalize things once more.
Yeah, Min gets a bit, Min gets a bit, you know, a bit eager, a bit greedy, like my namesake, and goes a bit too much on the inside and touches the inside block of that ring with his front wheel, and that gives a perfect opportunity for Antic to get back into it. We are level 3-3, and this is only starting to slowly boil over. It's getting cooked to a crisp, and Min is trying to do his best to hold out for the two Red Devils. Chung as well is actually doing rather well here, but you know, Spark and Kuda are not giving an inch or a mile and they're trying their very best to hold off Min on Luminance, which is a hard task to begin with, but at least for now, everything is going smoothly because they are in a victory position and Min is chasing down Spark.
Yeah, I mean, again, Spark's so clean on this track as well, and I don't want to keep, like, beating that drum, but we're seeing it. Spark consistently the one to be out in front so far on Luminous, although Kuda goes wide. Chung nearly makes an overtake. Min makes a mistake. Antic in position for another ace. Nailed the ending. It got dicey. Spark, a PB bouncing off the checkpoint. Insignificant, though, because he had enough of a gap. Either way, it's 6-3 for the Antic side.
An ace now, 3 aces in a row on this track. This is not what you usually see on this track, but actually, I was about to say, but Spark going from highs to low, but hey, it's actually his teammate who falters a bit on the start to begin with. So Spark is the one. Is this gonna just be an outright ace there? I knock you out. Ace for me, we knock you out. And now 2 Red Devils. Okay, 6-3, fine. We'll just go for an ace of our own.
Yeah, it seems to be the case right now. Spark, though, still in a position to potentially disrupt it. Chung and Min, wheel to wheel, driving like teammates. They take nearly the exact same line as Spark. Oh, tried to send it a little bit too hard, wound up losing out in the end. So with this advantage, you would think the 2 Red Devils should be able to coast to a nice 1-2, but we've already seen some close calls on the risky finish. I'm expecting to see it one more time. Spark looking to gain on the pair. Chung, a little bit more of an inside line, actually wants to challenge Min, you'd have to think, but Min should come across in P1, 58.6, an ace for the 2 Red Devils. We're tied once more.
Yeah, we just got an accelerated method. Instead of getting to 6-6 with 6 draws, we got there with 4 aces. So absolutely insane scenes at the moment. Both teams have gotten 2 aces apiece, and nothing to really separate the two here. They just want to figure this out.
No.
Aces for you, but Spark touches the outside fall, so it is now Kuda who has to somehow get something done, but he has not really been able to fully cook the track like Min and Chung, but he's there. He's still in the back end, so he's shadowing Chung and Min at least, looking for any opportunity he can get on to himself.
But this is aces only. We turned to aces only mode on, so as soon as Spark hits, it makes things so much difficult, unless, of course, we're looking for a draw to make it an ace to win out from 7-7. I'll take either. Kuda definitely wants that draw, tries to go hide. They're looking to maintain so much speed coming into these final corners. Meanwhile, the 2 Red Devils, they continue to take the exact same line. It almost looks like one car in the lead. Kuda bonks. It's another ace. Red Devils 1 point away from going to the grand final.
Aces only is on mode. Who needs Trackmania Welter? What is a draw? What is a victory? We have never heard of such thing. It's aces only. It's either ace to win it or ace to bring us to 9-9. We don't have draws here anymore. We have turned those off. If there is a draw, it's only a visual bug, so we can already confirm that as well. We can only get an ace in this Luminance map.
Oh, well, we'll see. I mean, Antic absolutely needs one to stay alive. Should be worth noting, too, the 2 Red Devils, 0.003 of a second apart. That last one, the 2 of them, again, they just take the same line so well, although this end they're a little bit spread out. Kuda currently out in front, but again, both of them need to be in front of Min, and Spark's losing time. Spark's losing ground. Kuda's trying to do their job, but they need help from the second Antic member. Kuda is going to look pretty good through these lines, but Spark, all the way back in P4, is going to have to absolutely send it through these last couple corners. They go wide. They maintain the speed. They're up into P3. It's Kuda who's dropping back. Min out in front. Final launch gets it done. 2 Red Devils go to the grand final.
Antic absolutely did their very best, but now the 2 Red Devils, it doesn't matter if you lose to them in the group stage. This is where it matters, and the 2 Red Devils do technically on paper an upset if we look at the seedings and where we got to these positions, but they have taken down Antic. Antic have now been will end up being the 3rd place in the Asian Oceania Premier League, and what a hell of a way to go for it as well. And the 2 Red Devils, Min pulled out the best performance of his entire tournament, and honestly, if I'm Bayvek and Chase Swag, I'm scared, to be honest. I'm just already writing off. Okay, I'm gonna lose. Waiting Simplicity is not gonna
No, no,
work.
no, no, no.
Luminance,
Hold
maybe.
hold on. These are full-time Trackmania drivers we're talking about in Baywhack and J-Swag, okay? This is all they do. It's their entire life. I think they're prepared for this moment. Look, we've got ourselves a little bit longer of a break. The final match is keyed in to start at 25 past the hour, so about 15 minutes time. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to hype ourselves up for this one, this grand final. Bound to be legendary. Min on form. Baywhack and J-Swag looking strong as well. Grand finals when we return.